Before I do start this video, I just want to let everybody know here that I know and I'm very well aware that I'm running a Barcelona channel, but during times like this and when I look at a club like Real Madrid, I have to speak about what they're currently going through. So for just this video, I'm going to be acting like if Madrid media existed or Real Madrid media existed or VAR Madrid existed. And I'm going to be very critical. I'm going to be very mature about this conversation. I'm not going to be toxic and try to talk a lot of smack about my rival club. I'm going to try and assess what Real Madrid are going through and maybe find some solutions in the end, even though deep down I don't want them to find solutions. However, a lot of this is going to center around Xabi Alonso as the coach of Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr, who does not even want to renew with Real Madrid and wants to move away from the club, which brings a huge smile to my face because the downfall of this club is what excites me the most. But once again, going back to what I said, let's be mature. Let's talk about Real Madrid and speak about Xabi Alonso first. Real Madrid are going to be entering their Champions League clash versus Olympiacos under a lot of heavy internal tension because after witnessing Real Madrid tie 2-2 against Elche, it extended their winless run. It all started with a 1-0 loss against Liverpool, who don't even win anything, by the way. They're not doing well in the Premier League. And then they went on and tied against Rayo Vallecano 0-0 and then tied against Elche 2-2. Obviously, as you can see, that with results like this, it is not good enough for a team like Real Madrid. You have very good players in your squad like Bellingham, Vinicius, Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo, Endrick, and the fact that they have only been able to score 3 goals in the past 3 matches and not get a single win. Of course, we're going to be hearing that there is fire within this club. And there has been this huge report that has came out coming from Jorge Picon, who has stated that there is several players within Real Madrid that want Xabi Alonso out of the club. And there has also been some executives who have also believed that a coaching change must be necessary. Like this needs to happen. After what they have seen since Xabi Alonso took charge in the Club World Cup, they have not been satisfied. And a lot of the concerns revolve around Alonso's very rigid tactics, questionable man management, and also the squad not believing in what Xabi Alonso is trying to teach. Nobody is responding to him. And this very much has to be real because if we're going to be hearing also as well that Vinicius Jr does not want to renew with Real Madrid, it has to be because of one reason, is because he is very unsettled at Real Madrid and does not like Xabi Alonso as coach. Because if you guys have seen the past few matches, Vinicius Jr has not been playing as much as he used to. You follow that up with a loss against Liverpool, a draw against Rayo Vallecano, a draw against Elche. Of course, Vinicius Jr is going to be like, okay, you guys don't count on me. We're getting poor results. All of this looks like one big mess. I'm going to have to move elsewhere. I do not want to renew with Real Madrid. And here's what's crazy. I remember Xabi Alonso speaking about his era at the club, like how it's going to look like. And he said a few things before the Clásico last month. And he stated that, you know, we're going to be needing some time, that this is a brand new project. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Xabi Alonso did say that in general, his project is going to be needing some time, which does not make any sense to me when I heard him say that, because Real Madrid like to bring in coaches that bring in immediate effects, immediate results as well. Real Madrid hired Xabi Alonso for one reason, and that is to uplift all players and get them to their best possible state. They looked at his results with Bayer Leverkusen and they're like, okay, you can repeat the exact same thing at Real Madrid. And that is what they expected, but only for Xabi Alonso to come in and say, yeah, we're going to be needing some time. And this project is going to be taking quite a while because with a team like Barcelona, they have already had 1 season under their belt. That was the general message of Xabi Alonso. And maybe Xabi Alonso knew deep down that results like this were going to happen. However, I don't even think that these players, because there's so many stars, are going to put up with that. And that's one of the problems that Real Madrid are going through as well, is the fact that they have so many stars. You got to deal with so many egos. And if Alonso says, oh yeah, we're going to be needing some time to bring success, they're not going to want that. I mean, like, think about it. Vinicius wants to win the Ballon d'Oro. He wants to score as many goals as possible. He has already been a starter before, and now he's taken away from that role. Kylian Mbappe wants to score as many goals as possible, wants to win as many titles as possible, like now, because he's 27, turning 28 next year. Do you think that these players are going to be okay with Alonso saying that we're going to be needing some time to bring in results? Of course not. I'm pretty sure that a player like Bellingham is also not happy because Bellingham used to be Real Madrid's number 9 and he was doing very well before Xabi Alonso came, and especially before Kylian Mbappe came in. Bellingham was the main star, but only for him to be behind the shadows of Kylian Mbappe, only because Mbappe has such a big name and Xabi Alonso had to find some way to fit in Mbappe and to put him in the number 9 position. And also the exact same thing happened with Carlo Ancelotti. All in all, the past 2 seasons so far, or I would say the past 18 months, Bellingham has never seen the number 9 position again. So can you imagine how Bellingham feels today? It's too many egos, too many things that you got to fix. So there are immediate challenges that Alonso is going to have to fix if he wants to save this season, which I hope they don't. But if they want to fix it, first things first is to repair the relationships inside the dressing room. Like, these players have to buy in the fact that they can win some trophies and buy into his idea and to be patient. Point number 2, recover the trust from both players and the board, right? The executives also have to back Xabi Alonso greatly. And point number 3, if it's going to be immediate challenges that he's going to have to fix, he's going to have to bring in and deliver immediate results. That is the only way. But if not, then Real Madrid are going to go through a second season where they don't win any trophies. And that's going to be in a row, 2 seasons in a row. That's going to be historical if they don't win nothing this season. And so there's a lot of work to be done. I think that the first thing that you must have to fix is going to be for these players to bring in enthusiasm and willingness to play. Because if you look at that match against Elche, where they played in a 3-4-1-2 formation, first of all, they were lost. None of the players knew exactly where they need to be positioned at. They looked very flat when Elche was attacking. Real Madrid offered very little when they had to attack back, and that is with a great starting 11. They had no firepower, no eagerness, no nothing. Defensively, Real Madrid couldn't even stop Elche at all. You look at the second goal that Elche scored, all of the players, all of the defenders were passive as hell. They were passive, they did not care. They were just following the player as he progressed with the ball, and eventually he scored the goal. All of them, super passive. Asensio, Huijsen, Carreras, Güler, Ceballos, very passive. They did nothing. Trent lost so many balls when he had the ball. It's crazy because you look at the 3-4-1-2 formation. It was one of the first times that Xabi Alonso truly wanted to implement his real tactics, but the players are not responding. I feel like Xabi Alonso, if he wants to succeed, he's gonna have to bring a lot of players in and bring a lot of players out, a whole restart on what the squad looks like. Trust me, Xabi Alonso has a certain image that he does want to implement when it comes to who's in the starting 11 and what the formation is and how do they play. Because if you're gonna have the balls to sit down Vinicius Jr, then yes, you have a certain way of how you want to play and how you want this squad to look like. And that's what's going to lead us towards the next conversation, right? With Vinicius Jr. and this crisis that is going on. Vinicius reportedly told Florentino Pérez that he will not renew his contract, which expires in 2027. And the reason why is because Vinicius feels undervalued. He feels like he has been treated unfairly. Going again to what I said before, there's a lot of egos in this squad, and he has completed only 5 out of 17 games, and he has been benched repeatedly. I don't even know if you guys have seen Real Madrid's game against PSG back in the Club World Cup semifinal. Vinicius Jr. was being played on the right wing position. That was one hell of a move from Xabi Alonso. We're all what the hell? Why is he placing him there? What's going on here? Let's fast forward in time, right, and talk about how Vinicius Jr. reacted when he got subbed out against FC Barcelona, right? Alonso wanted to take him out because he believed that he needed to have more of a creator on the pitch, and Vinicius Jr. was having a spasm attack. He was just so mad. Once again, egos, right? A lot of these players do act like this, but Real Madrid did offer Vinicius 20 million euros net per season. Vinicius was demanding 30 million euros, which is 10 million euros more, and that is certainly a Cristiano Ronaldo level type of deal. Vinicius wants to demand 30 million euros a season, very similar to what Kylian Mbappe does earn. You see how already there's this battle, not only on the pitch because he took his role, but also with the contracts. Florentino has a lot of work to do, and Madrid refuses to break this wage structure, which makes me believe that Vinicius does have a high chance of leaving if things don't work out well sportingly and especially financially. There has been teams like PSG and some Saudi clubs who have been monitoring the situation. I can see Vinicius going to PSG only because Vinicius is asking for a lot of money per season, and PSG they can spend as much as they want. It does not even matter. I think that Vinicius as well is not helping his own situation with his agent. You know that you're not a top priority in the 11, and yet with you getting your minutes reduced, you want to ask for even more money as you go on to the next season. That's insane. Vinicius, bro, you gotta fix your own performance. Showcase that you can score more goals and provide more assists. You're horrible when it comes to defensive transitions. You're poor in aerial duel performances. You're limited creativity wise against low blocks. You press in certain phases in the game, but it's not sustainable. So Vinicius Jr. is not the only one that is dissatisfied with the current situation at Real Madrid, right? We can't even just stay with Vinicius. Rodrigo does not get enough minutes. Valverde does not get enough minutes. Endrick, do you guys even remember Endrick? Endrick was supposed to be Real Madrid's brand new number 9, but Endrick is just not there and not getting anything. It's highly likely that Endrick could leave in January 2026. And then we also have Brahim Diaz, Mendy. All of these players want to play more, but they just don't get the minutes. And I know why. I know why there's a lot of dissatisfied players. It is because Xabi Alonso has a specific image on how he wants this team to look and how he wants this team to play. And Xabi Alonso has a lot to fix. Real Madrid can just come in and say hell no, we're not going to trust you, Xabi Alonso. We're going to need a brand new coach that can work with the players that we already have. They can do that, or they can say, you know what, we're going to back you, Xabi Alonso. We're going to take out the players that you don't want, the players who are dissatisfied, and bring in the players that you do need. So far, in terms of the satisfied players, I would say Kylian Mbappe is okay. He's doing decent. Huertao is fine. Arda Güler is also fine. Xabi Alonso needs midfielders who are very creative and great tactically, and Güler does bring that. Dean Huijsen is also okay. Carreras is also okay. But for everybody else, I just feel like a lot of them don't even want to be there. But all in all, that is the situation for Real Madrid. I am so happy to see Real Madrid in this state, and I wish the absolute worst for this club. I hope that they don't win a damn thing. I hope that all of the players leave. I hope that Kylian Mbappe gets mad because Vinicius Jr gets paid the 30 million euros and now they're paid evenly, even though Kylian Mbappe is scoring more goals, etc., etc. Like, I hope that nothing works out for this team deep down. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I feel bad for Alonso because I know that this was Alonso's like dream job, but all in all, for the rest of these players, you guys can get the hell out of here, bro. Like, you guys deserve everything that comes to you guys, and we'll see you next year. We'll see you in the next Clasico. We'll see how that goes. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.